And today I am Ubering with a Tesla Model S. Stay tuned and you're going to hear what it's like to do Uber and Lyft with a Tesla Model S. Hey, this is Gabe with the RideShare Guy, and I am driving hands-free with a Tesla Model S. This is kind of a special car. I went to a popular rental service and I rented a 2015 pearl white Tesla Model S. It's got about 40,000 miles on it, and I got it signed up for Lyft, and I drove some passengers around in it. I had a couple of 100 miles or more of experience driving this car around the San Francisco Bay Area, and I had a great time, and I'm going to tell you why. First, you probably want to know, what is the Tesla Model S? Well, the Tesla Model S was Tesla's first real mass market passenger car after they built their Tesla Roadster. And it is a car with varying battery capacities. They've been building the Model S for over 10 model years now. This is one of the earlier ones. One nice thing it has is free supercharging for life. I'm going to show you about that. This one has the 85 approximate size kilowatt hour battery. It's called the P85D. It's basically the base model, if you can call a $70,000, $80,000 car a base model. And what you get is a leather interior, very spacious seating for 5, lots of tech, lots of features that were really a brand new thing in 2012 when this car was first introduced, right? Things like internet connectivity, ability to update software, upgrade the car, upgrade its charging capacity and its range with over-the-air updates through a cellular modem, dual motors or single motor option that would give this car incredible top speed and acceleration for a car in this price range. And of course, a lithium-ion battery pack that was good for delivering over 200 miles of range in an electric vehicle. Absolutely the first time that ever happened. The tech and navigation is familiar if you're familiar with a Tesla Model 3. If you're not familiar with the Tesla Model 3, there's a bit of a learning curve. Cars, they keep updating them, adding games. It's weird that there's some features that aren't available on the newer Teslas, on the old ones. Don't know, but there's still you can still there's still games and toy box items like the roaring fire. I really liked that, and it's a great experience. This car accelerates like a bat out of hell, like I just showed you, and the handling is very, very good. Now you want to know what it's like to have paying passengers in this car, right? In a word, it's great. The passengers love it, and I love driving this car slowly and sedately. You're just driving Miss Daisy in every possible sense of the word, positive sense of the word. It's a smooth ride. It's a very quiet ride. No problem talking to your passengers, even at really high speeds. In fact, here, I'll bump this up to 100 miles an hour. And you can hear it's not that much louder. And now I should probably slow down because this is a heavy car. It's a lot heavier than my Model 3 and it feels it. But the handling, I think, is very balanced. The steering feel is adjustable and you get a lot of feedback. I have it on the sportiest feel. There isn't a lot of slop in the wheel and you get really nice feedback. This is a very comfortable car. The suspension is controlled. Even at 40,000, 50,000 miles, the suspension on this car feels pretty good. Probably close to what it felt like when it was new. And it is controlled, but it's not overly firm or harsh, unless you're hitting some really vicious potholes. I think the passengers have a great experience riding in this car because the back seat is very roomy, lots of headroom. If you have the passenger seat slid forward, there is a ton of legroom. It's like they're in an S-Class Mercedes back there, and I've had no complaints at all from people. The door handles on this car are brilliant. As soon as you figure out that you have to put the car in park, as soon as the car senses that there's a passenger standing by your right rear door, the door handles come out, and then they just yank them, and then they hop in. There's no explaining necessary. And to get out, again, there's an actual door handle. And as soon as the car is fully stopped, then the passenger can open the door and get out. They really appreciate that. Passengers really appreciated just being able to get in and out of this car. It's really easy. And if you are working as a rideshare driver, you know that sometimes your passengers are bigger than average. Sometimes they're a lot bigger than average. Sometimes they're so big, you're like, I didn't even know people that big could walk around. And they had no problem getting into this car. But for a startup company, which is essentially what it is and really what it was in 2015, I think it's a remarkably well put together car. Fit and finish is I don't know, it's pretty good. It's around around what you would expect from like a $30,000 Japanese car, right? In terms of the materials and how well things fit together. There aren't really a lot of squeaks or rattles from this car. Some of the interior materials feel a little cheap, a little plasticky, but mostly pretty good. There's a lot of nice material in this interior. There is Alcantara on the dash, so the dash isn't going to get all nasty and cracked over the years. The headliner is just a really nice feeling cloth with like Alcantara-like material. Maybe it is Alcantara, and it has a nice squishy backing underneath. It's held up really well, even though this is a 7 or 8 year old car. But there is a lot of like plasticky stuff that I wouldn't expect in a car of this caliber. Still, I love the cabin design. It's very comfortable. It doesn't have all the frippery and things that you would expect from a luxury car in this price range, but it's okay. As for the rest of the car, it's holding up pretty good. There are some squeaks and rattles from the front end. I think there's some issue with the control arms up in the front, and the current owner should have that checked out at Tesla service. He says the last service they didn't look at it, but they did replace the door handle, and even though the car wasn't under warranty, they replaced the door handle just because they felt they should. The EPA rated this at 270 miles, but in real life, you're going to be charging to less than 90%. And that means you're going to get about 200 to 230 miles before you have to juice up. And when you do have to juice up, you just find the nearest supercharger, you plug it in. Some of these cars actually have free supercharging for life, so that might be your car. And you're basically going to add, about 150 miles of range in 30 minutes, which I think is a pretty good deal. If you're charging at home, nothing could be easier. You pull into your garage and the little door opens up and you plug it in, and in the morning you're fully charged. And it probably costs you, anywhere from $5 to $12 to drive 230 miles. So you probably want to know, should I get one of these? Is this a good choice for rideshare? Well, if you're an adventurous person and you're not afraid of buying used things and you find the right car, I think this could work for you. But if you are more cautious and you want a sure thing and you would rather spend $30,000, $40,000 on something that is going to for sure not give you any trouble, then you might want to stay away from this. But if you do stick it out and buy yourself a used Model S, you're probably going to have a pretty good experience. I know your passengers are going to like it, and you get to spend your working time in a really nice car. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and please head over to the rideshareguy.com and read the actual story. Thanks for watching.